Bad tab navigation will turn users away. Here are the secrets that you need to know. The apps that we have on our phones these days have so many features, and really there's more and more features being added every day. But the product designers are responsible for keeping a simple appearance to the end user so people can always find what they're looking for, which can be hard to do. Most apps start out with a home page. Before long, we might have a friends tab and a settings tab, as well as all these other tabs that crop up down the road. Different teams may contribute to these discrete features. Of course, everyone wants the thing that they contributed to be only one tap away from the user using it. But these things quickly become overcrowded. So then a couple of questions arise. One of them is, should we maybe create a sliding navigation bar that slides from left to right, so we have room to fit all these things in? And the answer to that question is probably no. Why though? When people open your app, they want to get to the thing that they're after as fast as they possibly can. They're probably not going to sit there and slide around an app bar to find the particular thing that they're looking for. More importantly, from a usability perspective, if a user slides the navigation bar and then taps, sometimes that tap can be respected as a very small slide event. So then they have to tap again to actually get to the thing that they're after. This can make the app feel unresponsive, which is obviously not what we're going for. Okay, so some apps have a bottom navigation bar, and then they have like an overflow menu where the user can tap on like 3 dots to see more menu options. Is that a better idea? Well, probably still no, because having this idea of menus and sub-menus is probably not going to lead to a good user experience. And besides, where would that end? Would you have subcategories for those buttons for people to tap into still? From a user experience standpoint, it doesn't really make sense. So what should you do? Well, there's only one thing you really can do, and that is to focus on what you really want in your navigation bar. Let's think about an app like Facebook. Now, how many features does an app like Facebook have? Probably tens, if not hundreds, right? How many buttons do they have on their navigation bar? Well, it's only 5. Home, Friends, Profile, Alerts, and Menu. Other main features of Facebook, like the Marketplace for instance, occur within that dedicated menu page. We also know what tab we're currently on, because the icon we've tapped on gets filled in, and it also gets a nice little blue line underneath it as well. Finally, the Facebook logo actually collapses if we go to any one of these different menu options, giving the user more room to see what they're actually after. The user can also swipe through tabs, which is an intuitive way for them to change tabs if they so wish to. And swiping and scrolling is respected really well. One doesn't get confused for the other, for instance. LinkedIn is the same, where they have 5 icons down the bottom, but they have text under the buttons. But obviously they're not confident these icons really sell the intent of what the icons do, because they have this really small text underneath each icon that says what that navigation option is there to do. And the buttons here go from a grayscale color scheme to a more filled in color. The icons also change very slightly when it's activated, apart from the video icon, which stays the same, which is a little bit of a visual inconsistency. And again, while the icons make the purpose of those tabs obvious, there's this really small text underneath each option. Swiping between tabs doesn't work and is instead misunderstood as a pull to refresh action. The result here of this comparison between these two apps is that the Facebook navigation looks good and is well spaced out and is consistent, whereas the LinkedIn navigation bar definitely feels a little bit more cluttered, because all the other icons are just simply grey, and of course they have all that text in the navigation bar as well. Even though both apps have the same amount of room to render the navigation bar, LinkedIn definitely feels just that little bit more cluttered. So what do we learn from all this? When we're designing our navigation bars, it's important to limit our icons to 4 or 5 icons at most. If we need more room, we can use a menu page like what Facebook has, for instance. It's tempting to use text in our tabs, but in reality, most users can probably deduct that 2 people means friends, a cog means settings, and we maybe don't need to have that tiny little text actually spelling out what's going on. The active state is also important, with each selected tab having some visual representation that that's the current tab that the user is on. And consistency, of course, in how we show that active state is also important as well. If you're a designer or you've had some work on navigation bars, when it comes to designing your navigation bars, what do? Well, definitely let us know in the comments below. As well as that, don't forget to subscribe to LogRocket for more tips on user experience and tutorials.